This video is about passive voice, das Passiv. What is passive voice? To understand passive, you need to understand active. Most sentences seem to be active voice, which means that the subject of the sentence acts on the object. For example, he does the homework. Macht die Hausaufgabe. Passive voice rearranges this format so that the object becomes the subject, and the former subject becomes part of a by-phrase. For example, the homework is done by him. Die Hausaufgabe wird von ihm gemacht. It is also just possible to say the homework is done and leave off the by-phrase so that the subject is unidentified. It is most common to see present tense or simple past in the passive. Passive voice focuses attention on the receiver of the action instead of the agent, the subject of the active sentence. Passive is used less than active voice, but it is used for recipes, instructions, and for giving impersonal information, like that in scientific or technical manuals. The chart below shows how active turns to passive in English. English uses the auxiliary verb to be in the passive. You have a subject acting on an object in active. You can change that object to the subject and add the former subject to a by-phrase for passive. For example, he does homework. Homework is done by him. We have tense and aspect, followed by active voice, followed by passive voice. For simple present, we have does, is done. Present continuous, is doing, is being done. Present perfect, has done, has been done. Present perfect continuous, has been doing, has been being done. Simple past, did, was done. Past continuous, was doing, was being done. Past perfect, had done, had been done. Past perfect continuous, had been doing, had been being done. Simple future, will do, will be done. Future continuous, will be doing, will be being done. Future perfect, will have done, will have been done. Future perfect continuous, will have been doing, will have been being done. The chart below shows how active turns to passive in German. German uses the auxiliary verb werden in the passive. You have a subject acting on an object in active. You can change that object to the subject and add the former subject to a by-phrase for passive. For example, he does homework. Macht die Hausaufgabe. Homework is done by him. Die Hausaufgabe wird von ihm gemacht. Here we have tense and aspect, active voice, and then passive voice again. For simple present, we have does, is done, and in German this is macht, wird gemacht. For present continuous, is doing, is being done, macht, wird gemacht. Present perfect, has done, has been done, hat gemacht, ist gemacht worden. Present perfect continuous, has been doing, has been being done, hat gemacht, ist gemacht worden. Simple past, did, was done, machte, wurde gemacht. Past continuous, was doing, was being done, machte, wurde gemacht. Past perfect, had done, had been done, hatte gemacht, war gemacht worden. Past perfect continuous, had been doing, had been being done, hatte gemacht, war gemacht worden. Simple future, will do, will be done, wird machen, wird gemacht werden. Future continuous, will be doing, will be being done, wird machen, wird gemacht werden. Future perfect, will have done, will have been done, wird gemacht haben, wird gemacht worden sein. Future perfect continuous, will have been doing, will have been being done, wird gemacht haben, wird gemacht worden sein. Astute folks have noticed the problem with continuous. Remember that German present tense is all English present tenses. In case you forgot, ich mache is I do, I am doing, and I do do. Think you don't say that. I do homework. I am doing homework. I do homework a lot. So, since German translates into English and vice versa, I have to provide you with a continuous aspect so that you may translate your English into German correctly, even though there is no actual continuous in German. This means that when you look at simple present, you'll see that macht is does. For present continuous, you'll see that is doing is also macht. They are the same, even though in English they are different. That is because continuous is not a thing in German. We are sticking with the sentence we have been using and filling out the chart for that one alone. Get ready. To save space, HW means homework. HA means die Hausaufgabe. BH in parentheses means by him, and VI in parentheses means von ihm. Both of these are in parentheses because they are optional. You can leave off the by phrase. Again, we have tense and aspect followed by active voice followed by passive voice. For simple present, we have he does homework. Homework is done by him. Macht die Hausaufgabe. Die Hausaufgabe wird von ihm gemacht. For present continuous, he is doing homework. Homework is being done by him. Macht die Hausaufgabe. Die Hausaufgabe wird von ihm gemacht. For present perfect, he has done homework. Homework has been done by him. Hat die Hausaufgabe gemacht. Die Hausaufgabe ist von ihm gemacht worden. For present perfect continuous, he has been doing homework. Homework has been being done by him. Hat die Hausaufgabe gemacht. Die Hausaufgabe ist von ihm gemacht worden. Simple past, he did homework. Homework was done by him. Machte die Hausaufgabe. Die Hausaufgabe wurde von ihm gemacht. Past continuous, he was doing homework. Homework was being done by him. Machte die Hausaufgabe. Die Hausaufgabe wurde von ihm gemacht. Past perfect, he had done homework. Homework had been done by him. Hatte die Hausaufgabe gemacht. Die Hausaufgabe war von ihm gemacht worden. Past perfect continuous, he had been doing homework. Homework had been being done by him. Hatte die Hausaufgabe gemacht. Die Hausaufgabe war von ihm gemacht worden. Simple future, he will do homework. Homework will be done by him. Wird die Hausaufgabe machen. Die Hausaufgabe wird von ihm gemacht werden. Future continuous, he will be doing homework. Homework will be being done by him. Wird die Hausaufgabe machen. Die Hausaufgabe wird von ihm gemacht werden. Future perfect, he will have done homework. Homework will have been done by him. Wird die Hausaufgabe gemacht haben. Die Hausaufgabe wird von ihm gemacht worden sein. Future perfect continuous, he will have been doing homework. Homework will have been being done by him. Wird die Hausaufgabe gemacht haben. Die Hausaufgabe wird von ihm gemacht worden sein. Let's try a few. Turn the active sentences into passive. Number 1. Hans kauft ein Buch. If you'd like to try it completely on your own, pause the video now. Otherwise, we'll do it together. The verb is kauft, and it is simple present. For simple present, kauft is similar to macht. That means we're looking at this formula for our passive. Our object, ein Buch, will become our subject Hans will become part of a by phrase. This means that our passive will be ein Buch wird von Hans gekauft. Next we have Wir haben die Simpsons gesehen. Pause the video if you want to try it on your own. The verbs are haben gesehen, and that is present perfect. That means we're looking at this formula here for our passive voice. Our subject is wir, that will become part of our by phrase, and die Simpsons was our object, that will become our new subject. This means that our passive will be Die Simpsons ist von uns gesehen worden. Die Simpsons is a singular TV show, which is why I did not use plural here. What I mean by using plural is that ist is conjugated for a singular show, as opposed to sind. I'm going to point out that your verb must act on an object to even have a passive sentence. For example, he goes to the movies cannot be passive. All you have there is an object of a preposition, not a direct object. You need a direct object. Here are some more examples. Turn the active sentences into passive. I strongly recommend using the chart from the previous slide. You have for number 1, ich brauche Aspirin, I need aspirin. Number 2, meine Eltern hatten Kaffee getrunken, my parents had drunk coffee. For number 3, euer Vater wird Suppe kochen, your father will cook soup. For number 4, du wirst am Montag das Auto geputzt haben, you will have cleaned the car on Monday. For number 5, Steffi hat die Wäsche gewaschen, Steffi has washed the laundry. And for number 6, wir sahen Filme in Schwarz-Weiß. We saw films in black and white. Pause the video now. For number 1, you have Aspirin wird von mir gebraucht. Aspirin is needed by me. Aspirin, sorry. For number 2, Kaffee war von meinen Eltern getrunken worden. Coffee had been drunk by my parents. For number 3, Suppe wird von eurem Vater gekocht werden. Soup will be cooked by your father. For number 4, das Auto wird am Montag von dir geputzt worden sein. The car will have been cleaned by you on Monday. For number 5, die Wäsche ist von Steffi gewaschen worden. The laundry has been washed by Steffi. For number 6, Filme wurden von uns in Schwarz-Weiß gesehen. Films were seen by us in black and white.